My darling, darling baby, you're my sweet and tender love. You're a special lady. Said you're everything I've ever hoped for. Darling, darling baby, you're my sweet and tender love. You're a special lady. Celebrate life. There's truth in the light, mysteries in the night. It's magic, a glow in your eye, horizons in the sky. Reach for the
Am I live?
Are we live?
What's up, everybody? Give me some love in the chat if you can hear me. We're doing a little bit of a sound check. Welcome to Talent Tuesday. Check 1, check 2. Twitch fam, can you hear me?
Put 69 up if you can hear us.
Yeah. Thanks, Lexi. All right. Welcome, everyone. This is Talent Tuesday. We are Quantize Recordings. I'm DJ Spen. Who are you?
I'm DJ Spen.
Who are you?
I'm DJ Spen. We're all DJ Spens in here.
Welcome. As you can see, DJ Spen is not with us. He might be joining us. He has just landed from Croatia and will be joining us. But we are going to get down to some what I hope will be groovy tunes. First up, I have to introduce you to our wonderful panel of judges. I'm so excited today. We have none other than the boss man himself. You have got to check out some of his recent releases on Quantize Recordings, really on the unquantized side. But Mr. Ricky Morrison, hey, Ricky.
Hello, how are you all?
Oh, thank you so much.
So
We're so excited to have you and can't wait to hear the feedback you have for our producers today. Ricky, as long as you're honest and nice, no holds barred. Tell the people the truth. We love to give our producers some honest feedback. So, we're not here to lie to them. We got to really tell them the truth. And we can't wait to hear the songs and hear your feedback. Okay. So thank you.
All right. I'll get a glass of wine ready then.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Next up, you all know and love him, the man himself, coming from New York City. What's up, Bobby Shaw?
Another Tuesday, and looking forward to the next 2 hours of my life.
All right. Well, always glad to have you. And next up, we have the Quantize team is growing in lady numbers, which I am loving. We have DJ Renee Melendez, our social media and SoundCloud and Spotify lady. What's up, DJ Renee Melendez?
What's up, Kelly and Tommy and Mike Freak and Bobby and Ricky and the lovely Candace. How you guys doing?
We sound like a musical group. Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike.
Or Prancer, Dancer, and
Vixen, Comet, Blitzen, Rudolph.
Hey, Renee.
Hey, Renee. And of course, we have our DJ and producer extraordinaire, hailing all the way from Margate, UK, Candace McKenzie. What's up, Candace?
Hey, Kelly. Hey, everyone. How you doing?
Hey, Candace.
Hey, guys.
And if you all have not figured it out, with me, I have really like our Quantize guys. I have our founder, our co-founder, legend, producer, DJ, Mr. Tommy Davis.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. So I know y'all figured out I'm not Spin, but you know he got a tan, but he's not this dark.
No. No. So I got my brother with me today in my house, not the other guy. But happy to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
It's nice to be in person with these guys because we don't get to do this. Just in case people are like, are they vaccinated? Are they safe? Yes, we're very safe. Okay. We have really not hung out until we were sure that we were all safe.
Yes.
And so here we are. Mm-hmm. And thank you for doing this. Mike Freak, thank you for agreeing to stand in for Spin.
Hola.
So if the technology is not up to your liking, blame it on Mr. Mike Freak. Associate producer, remixer,
chaos organizer,
chaos creator, Mike Freak. All right. So for those of you that haven't joined us before, this is our A&R session, and we are going to check out some new songs submitted to us by producers. And we're asking all of you in the chat to just speak up. Let us know how you're feeling about the songs. All of our judges are going to vote. And I'm going to tell you, I kind of had an epiphany over the weekend. Or when was it? Yeah, I had an epiphany. So for a long time, Quantize Recordings, it was founded, and Tommy is a co-founder. Tommy and Spin founded Quantize Recordings with the idea that they wanted to help people get their music out. So not only their own music, but they really wanted to help people who had never released. And for almost 10 years, that's what we've been doing. And it's been amazing. And I really have to say kudos to them for just wanting to help people, wanting to get people's music heard, and wanting to give back to the house music community. It's really amazing what you all have done. And what I'll say is this. So I've been the silent vice president. I was the silent vice president, just giving them advice. And I'm a lawyer, so I would give them advice and stuff in the background. And then a few years ago, I had to get a little bit more active because the company was growing and growing. And so my input is always from the business standpoint. So we clash a lot because they're artists. So we clash a lot. But, Quantize has paid its dues, I feel like. So I'm looking for 8.5s and 9s and above. Okay. The 7s, take it back to the drawing board. We'll be happy to listen again, work on it. Please listen to the advice from the producers. But I'm really going to start stepping up my game in terms of and being a little bit more hard in terms of the scores that I give to people, because it's time. So without further ado, we're glad that you are locked and loaded and checking us out. Mike Freak, can we hear the first song? I don't even know what it's called.
Yep.
Oh, Tommy wants, can you say something? I mean,
Go
of
ahead.
course. What am I tell you now?
This is Quantize. And what I'm hearing a lot is that, we're a pretty big label. And Kelly and Mike and everyone on staff knows that we drop 2, sometimes 3 records a week. So if you submit something, remember, you're going to be in our schedule. That means we're a big label. So don't submit something you want it out for Halloween. Submit it out, and we'll put you into the big machine, and you become a part of Quantize history. So welcome aboard if that's what you want.
If that's what you want. If that's what you want. And, we know that everyone has a choice. Nowadays, you can release your music on Bandcamp. You can create your own label. More power to you. We support house music. We support good music. We support producers. Tommy doesn't just play Quantize music. Mike doesn't just play Quantize music. Mike doesn't just release music on Quantize. So we support it all, and we're here for you. And let's get into this music. It better be good today, because I'm not playing with you producers.
Let's rock and roll.
Let's roll.
sorry about that.
That is not DJ Spen. All right. That was track number 1. I think it's called Funky Summer.
Thank you so much.
Ricky, I have to let's let our guests weigh in first on Funky Summer. Ricky, how are you feeling about Funky Summer?
Well, in my opinion, it's a nice record, a nice smooth track. But that's the kind of record where if he's going to do a track like that, it needs to be a little bit more interesting. And the only way you can make that interesting is really try and change things every 8 bars. So 8 bars is something, 8 bars is something, another 8 bars is something, and maybe go back to the beginning. Da, 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 da. So for me, it was a little bit long. I think if it was a bit shorter and a bit more to the point, I think it might get over, because a lot of the DJs these days haven't got time to play those kind of records. They've got like an hour set or a 2-hour set. So that will probably eat up a lot of their DJ time. So yeah, I think it's a nice track. But I think it needs a little bit more involvement. I think it needs to be a little bit more direct. Maybe maximum 5.5 minutes, 6 minutes long.
So out on a scale of 1 to 10, what score would you give this one?
I'll probably give that a nice 6, nice round 6, I reckon. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, Bobby Shaw, did this give you those funky summer vibes?
I feel like Ricky, like almost, I'm going to be repetitive here because my notes are almost basically what he said, but I wrote, nice track, nice bump, but nothing exceptional, nothing standing out. It goes on a little. Would I sign it? I don't know. I just thought it was just average. I would give it a 6 too.
All right, so we've got 2 6s. Tommy and Mike are commenting over here and said it could be a nice Quantize and chill track. So Candace, I'm going to jump over to you and see what your thoughts on this one are, since you and I are the executive producers of Quantize and Chill Project.
That's right. Well, without trying to sound like Ricky and Bobby, my notes are pretty similar as well. So I put, it took a little long to get going, but it does have a nice vibe, like a nice kind of beach bar kind of vibe. So the track name is appropriate because that's where I kind of see that kind of style of track sitting. And I thought that when the trumpet came in, it added like a nice layer, or it kind of made it a little bit more interesting because it was a bit samey before that then happened. But for Quantize and Chill, I would say only if, and like as Ricky said, if it was a lot shorter. You know, even as a DJ, like I used to, before, like previously, I wasn't really here for the short tracks, like anything like less than 5 minutes. I'm like, why are you doing that? But now I kind of get it, especially with like an instrumental like that. Like we've had, recently we released like 2 instrumental EPs, you know, Kelly, the ones by Smoke. And all these tracks were like 5 minutes or less. And now I've really come to understand like how it works that way. So maybe if this track was made shorter, it could be a contender for Quantize and Chill. But for now, I think it's a 6. Like with everybody else, I agree with that score. And that's where I'm at with it right now.
All right, so I'm interested in hearing what Renee says. So Renee is a New Jersey DJ, and we know that New Jersey sound. So I don't know. What do you think about this one, Renee?
I think you're on mute.
Yeah, I think she's muted.
Oh, still muted.
Still muted, Renee. Are we have?
No.
There we go. Is that? I think we hear her.
No.
No?
Still muted.
Renee, can you refresh and come back? We'll come straight back to you.
You got the she got the Tommy Davis curse.
All right. Well, we'll come right back to Renee. But since we're talking about Tommy Davis, talk to us, Tommy. Talk to us. Talk to the producer.
Well, hey, I agree with what everyone has said. It is a great instrument. It had a nice bump and energy, and I appreciate that you sent it in your full length production. But we encourage producers when you're sending demos out, you have the attention span really short. So you want to condense it down so that so that in less than 2.5, 3 minutes you can get the whole concise idea about your thing, because they might not get it, the phone might ring, a whole bunch of stuff. So otherwise, I would give it a 6, maybe a 7, because I could hear it was very smooth. I was on the Mediterranean drinking Mai Tais, and I was there.
Okay. Took you there.
I was there.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
there.
All right.
One day. But it was really for Quantize, except for Quantize and Chill. We kind of look for what our main audience is. So to producers out there, look at what we put out. If your sound is something like what we put out, then we're actually going to go for it, because it kind of fits our audience. And that's what it is. It's a market game. It's not what we like personally. It's what sells. So I give it a 6.5.
6.5. Okay. All right. Mike Free?
It's the same. Piggyback on what everyone has said. I really like that when the trumpet came in.
Yeah.
That gave,
That's the part
a different life to the track. But it took a while for it to come out. It probably, if it came out a little early, then develop that melody, come up with something else other than that, because you could put it like at the beginning, keep the interest right there, and then put in something else to just grow the track. But it's in a good direction.
Okay, so it's got a good start. Can you give it a number?
So probably a 6.
Oh, it didn't get the point.
They didn't get a 6. The 0.9 is precious. That 0.9 is precious.
Okay, that 0.9 is precious. All right. What about Renee? Is Renee back with us? Are we able to get Renee on?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
That sound. I give it a 5. It's a good lounge track. It's a chill track. It lacks that hard-hitting thump, which is cool, but it's definitely like a chill, drink wine, smoke cigars, little cognac type track on a nice warm summer day. And it needs some rearranging and some more structure to it. It's lacking something in there, but it has some bones to do something with it.
Yeah. It's definitely a heartbeat, but it just needs a bit more intricacy.
So 5.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just checking out the chat a little bit. We've got, what's up, Lee Buxton? Lee Buxton, are you really giving this one a 6.9? We've got some, okay scores. But I think, producer, if you're in the chat, from where I sit, I can see Facebook chat, I can see all the chat. So people are not saying they don't like it. People are saying they want to see it developed a little more. So to me, that's always good feedback, because it means your song has the foundation, and you could really bump it from a 6 on up to that 8.5 that I need to see. But that's up to you. Some people say, well, I want to take this 6 and I want to release it. And by all means do that. But I think we would need just a little bit of some special sauce on that one. And you could really take this one somewhere. I do like it as a Quantize and Chill. Mm-hmm. I would be, on the beach with my mojito, bobbing my head a little bit. But you know me, I would have definitely fallen asleep on that intro. My goodness.
Well, some great records have in that. I mean, Whistle Song is a typical. That's kind of like your template.
So
you want to look at it and say that some of the components of energy. So it's not like a loungy or a smooth record that can't be a hit. Yeah. So it's just certain elements you have to turn up to make
I like catchy. That when the horn came in. Remember, I was like, "Oh, what do we have going on here?" Wait a minute, because Sheila, what's up, Sheila Ford, the legend, Miss Sheila Ford, is in the chat on Twitch, and Sheila. I got to go up because I can't remember what her comment was, but Sheila, I really respect, and Sheila she's not going to lie to you, So Sheila said she likes the groove, but it needs to go somewhere. So, think about that. It needs a real trumpet and maybe some vocals or horn with solos. And I thought that was a really good comment. Some mixed feedback on Twitch, but pretty much all the same. People saying they really like the start and where, you know, what they're hearing, but they think you can take it somewhere.
It needs a real trumpet and maybe some vocals.
Oh, sorry. We're just hearing a little feedback. All right, so that's it for the first one. Let's move on to the next song and see how we're feeling about this one.
Next one is called "It's a Piano Thing." Let's hit it. All right. What say you, peoples?
Yes, so we had a nice little conversation about this song, and Mike put it on the big system so I could actually hear it. So I'm interested in hearing what you all have to say. Let's start with Bobby.
Quite frankly, I thought it was kind of boring. Maybe putting some vocals over it would help, but the record just doesn't do much for me. Would I remember this track 5 years from now? Absolutely not. So I would give it maybe a 4.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's go to Renee.
Oh,
is she stuck again?
She's muted.
No.
Oh,
There we go.
here.
No, that's
I'm to be graceful in my response. It needs a lot of work. It's a little bit too long. It definitely is kind of all over the place. The rhythm pattern shifted. It lost me totally. So it definitely use a lot more work. Anything could be rehabilitated, but I think it would have to be like totally taken apart and then restructured again. So I would say a 3.
All right, judges. Ricky, you are up next.
Yes, well, I actually think that's an interesting record. Actually, if I heard that in a big room, and it was arranged right and structured right, like I think he needs to know about bars and beats because everything was coming on the off and stuff. But I can hear the bit of arrangement, a piano bit. That piano bit at the end was at the beginning. A really huge, massive, like a warehouse, maybe a little floating vocal over the top.
That's a weave.
That could be a nice little DJ tool to me.
Mhm.
I think that's on a Quantize thing, to be fair. That's my honest opinion. It's got a nice bump to it. It's got, I can hear a lot of DJs working that with floating acapellas over the top, or just using the beginning and stuff like that. It's a DJ tool, but it's hardly a record that will take it to a Track Source top 10. It's just another record in a DJ's armory, and I'll probably give it a 5, I think. But it needs a bit of work. It needs a bit of structure. But I think it's a nice record for a big room, not in a bar or a little small club. It's one of those big room, beach stage, Sunset Beat, or that kind of stuff.
Okay, thank you, Candice.
Thank you. Absolutely. I'm more with Ricky. I wrote down that you can tell it's not on the 4/4. It's slightly off. But I liked it. It definitely kept my interest, even if it was just to see what was kind of come next. And I can see it working in a big room as well, like in a big kind of super club, like a Ministry of Sound, or as Ricky said, like a big festival kind of thing. I can definitely see that one going off at 2 a.m, something like that. Is it right for Quantize or more unquantized? I'm not sure, to be honest, but I do think that it's a interesting track. Yes, it will need a bit of work, but I liked it. I think I'll give it a 6. I liked it.
All right, Candice, maybe we are starting to all become alike from being around each other, but your your comments were pretty much the exact conversation that went on here, because I liked elements of the song, and then I was like, I'm waiting for that big drop, and then Mike and Tommy said, here it comes, and then we turned it on the big system, and what we were talking about is really the younger crowd and where this music has a place, maybe not on Quantize or unquantized, but there's a huge market for this music. It's very relevant to what a lot of people, maybe not all of the people who are watching us, but a lot of people really, this is their thing. And so this song is good for that, that audience and that genre. Do you all want to talk a little bit about your thoughts on this one?
Hey, if you're in the room, you got to remember that those people that's in the chat and stuff like this, they're Quantize fans. So you're stepping into a different genre. So anything they're saying, they're applying it to Quantize. So don't be discouraged when people are saying things that they don't understand. But what we're saying is that we understand exactly the audience you're going for. Whether it's with us is questionable because we don't have an audience for it, as you can read in the chats and by some of the comments.
Right. They don't understand it because it's not
it.
their thing. But you know, I think Mike probably, I mean, even you more so than the rest of us do, you know, understand it. And you want to comment?
Well, you know, we were talking about it, and you know, I turned up the volume, and I saw Tommy in your face. You guys kind of lit up because you felt the bass, you felt something in it.
Yeah.
Now it's a matter of question: is this a quantized record or not? Because I think it has some good elements to it. Like I like the piano. I mean, I'm a piano player. I know it's programmed, but I mean it works. So as a producer, not everyone is, you know, a skilled musician, but you know you make what you have work. And I think for this track it's worked, and it's smart. The audience, though, I think this one, for someone who hasn't heard house music, I think they're gonna like the song.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
I do too.
Yeah,
right.
definitely.
So
Yeah, I agree.
so there's a niche for this kind of sound.
Okay.
It's a mainstream.
It's definitely got a heartbeat. It's got the heartbeat, the foundation, but it just needs a bit of structure and arrangement. And as Tommy said, bars and beats, you know. And I think if Sven had his mastering boots on, that'll sound really heavy, really good, you know.
There's definitely a target audience for that 20 to 30 demographic, because this is that definitely that they're listening to.
Yeah,
absolutely. And you know, I actually have a 20-something-year-old upstairs, and I said, well, we should get him down here and let him, you know, listen to this, because it is different. So for those of you in the chat, most of the people in the chats are Quantize connoisseurs. You know, you buy Quantize music, or you buy music from labels that do kind of the same thing that we do, and you are looking for soulful, you're looking for a little bit something different. But that doesn't mean producer. You know, that's a lesson for all of our producers. You know, with the right label, your song can go places. Is there a market for it with our folks that buy our music? Probably not so much, but you know, that doesn't mean it's a bad song. About 56% said no, so a little bit more than half, so half and half, which isn't bad actually for a song.
No.
You know, that comes from this genre over on Twitch. So you know, I might reach out to you, producer, and see what your plans are, but don't be discouraged at all. All right, with that, we're going to what?
7. I give it a
7.
There you go.
Did you get?
I'm a DJ. I would take pieces of it and kill them.
Yep.
Well, you take pieces of everything and kill
Yeah,
them.
that's what Tommy does.
But you know, but to your point, Tommy,
Yes.
there have been the songs you played, and I say, what's that song? And then someone in the chat or someone will tell me, and then I go listen to the song, and I'm like, that song is awful. I hate that song. But once you Tomatize it,
Right.
then I have a different feeling about it. But when you Tomatize a song, you are putting that soul, but you're putting that bang on it, and that's why and you Baltimore it too. So, and I'm a Baltimore music girl, so then I like it. But would I just listen to this? I'd probably be like, oh, that's okay, but it's not my thing. You know, I'd move on.
I would turn you out with this.
I know you would. I know you would. So, all right. So a 7. Mike, did you give this a number?
Yeah, this is a 6.5. That's pretty close to 6.9. I like the piano stabs. I like the piano stabs.
0.5. All right, 6.5. All right. Well, let's move on.
Next track is called "Cause I Love." LUV.
Because I love. Is it supposed to be "Cause I Love You"?
Yeah, it's cause.
Let's see if we love it. All right, it's
LUV.
Tuesday.
Yep.
Thanks for being with us. Let's go.
Let's rock and roll this one.
Don't say. Move like, oh yeah. Move like, lele. One time things got so crazy, I had to go to my DJ friends and beg for souls. And I told them, I said, radio music is making me lazy. It's making me old. I tell them how I once lost myself in rhythm, the syncopated souls. I tell them how I checked the local clubs, but the scenes are cold. Reminiscing the days when I felt broken and house music made me whole. I bum rushed the dance floor to receive a spiritual hydration, strumming the sound of stranger fruit, my song libation, orgasmic grooves that make the spasm into formation, and leave puddles of sweat, sweating puddles beneath my station. And my friend told me, he said, Kaina, sounds like you're in love with the music, like really in love. And just maybe the world needs a rhythm like this, a sound that can put your soul in bliss. To never no more be lonely. Never no more be lonely. Never no more be lonely.
All right, we are stopping this one for a minute. Biscuit, can you tell us the song?
Yes.
So I was actually starting to groove to this. And what's up to DJ Biscuit, straight out of Baltimore, in the chat? And Biscuit says this is a remix of a song that's already released. And producers, if this is for some reason your first time checking us out, please do not send us an unauthorized remix, because we can't really air other people's mixes, and we definitely can't release a remix that we have not been commissioned to do. So can I get someone telling? Oh, he's trying to send me I'm sorry, Biscuit, because our thing is catching the link. So
Whisper it to us.
Yeah.
Send a whisper.
Yeah, or just type the name. So unfortunately,
maybe just the novice person, they didn't understand why we're doing that.
Why? Okay. Do you want to tell them, or?
All right, and new producers, they can go and get some of these vocals very easily by some software that does it, takes it off, right? Might takes the vocals right off a song, but there are some that have free royalties. Now, as a label, we don't like to go out there and have to search the world to find out if something is. So if we sign something, we find out in the latter part of it, we have to snatch it down. So we try not to do that. We really don't.
Yeah.
We don't. So if you can prove that you have the rights to that song, that's totally different.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And it, not only is it, when you just can't do it. We wouldn't want people to do it with our music, and also, it's not a good look, and it's not fair. The people that publish the song need to, we need to go through the proper rights and the proper channels to give them their credit and give them their money, more importantly, for remixing their music. So even though you may hear a lot of remixes on Quantize Recordings, and also we do a lot of covers, we go through the proper channels to get them done. But we don't start work on them until we know we can clear it. We don't just say we want to do this, let's see how it works out. No, we go through, we do what we need to do on the front end so that we can work with the music. So
let's move on to the next.
Yeah, let me just
before we do.
Biscuit plays this, I could see that. Biscuit said he plays this a lot.
Right.
I would be jamming at your party. Biscuit, you have a birthday party coming up. I will be there. Can you play? I don't even know if you're playing for your own party, but I would love to hear that on the dance floor.
Kelly,
to the producer.
Oh
yeah.
Wait, Candice wants to say something.
Can I? Yeah, just to add, just to give the producer the benefit of the doubt, it might have been that he got the vocal from a sample pack, and then he's obviously made his own version of it. So let's just give the producer the benefit of the doubt. But what I want to just say with that is using sample packs are cool. We understand why they are there. But at the same time, if one producer's got a sample pack, there's hundreds of other producers who also have the sample pack. So you're also running the risk of making a tune that is going to sound like someone else's tune that they've already put out 3 months before you have. We've even had that ourselves with Quantize, where we signed a fantastic track and we were ready to put it out. and then we were told that someone else has put out a track with the same vocal, and they were both in the right because they both use the sample pack. So that's just another thing to kind of think about if you are using sample packs to build your tracks.
Yeah, Candace, I see DJ Biscuit and DJ Scoob in the chat. They both play this. I can see why. The Baltimore will eat this song up, eat this alive. So they both say they play the original. So I don't know, I'm not gonna guess, but it sounds like they may have just, remixed or edited the song. And so, but you do raise a good point, and we have had that situation. There's nothing wrong with sample packs, but if you are using you have purchased, legally purchased a sample pack, just know that, like Candace said, many other producers, and the most interesting case that we've had recently is that two people used it almost in the same way. And the first song was it was just released, and we were like, wait a minute, did they not? It was very strange. So you do run the risk of people using it in a way that's very similar. And then obviously we're not going to pit two different producers on the label against each other, competing for, attention on the same sample, just two different songs. It's a little bit weird and a little bit confusing. So, go back to the drawing board, producer. We'd love to hear from you in the future.
But wait, we loved it. So if that's your track, go get your cousin Ursula and put her on the track.
On the track. Just
and you got a hit.
Yeah.
Okay, I think he's in the chat.
Hold on. It's not a sample pack. I own the rights as a label. So you are a label. All right, I'm reading. I'm reading it's yours. Okay.
There you go. And then I guess
I can read. It's my time. I own it. It's mine.
Okay.
So you own it. It's been released. I get permission. I see you. He says, "Oh my God, okay, calm down, babes." So, let me ask you this: has this track been released on where? On your label, on another label? Just tell me more in the chat, and then we're gonna listen. If we run this, is it gonna get us? I want to know where it was released. Jack, where was this released? On your it is on Track Source. Let's run it. If you get cut off, it's Jack Dad's fault. It's his song. He owns it legally. Let's listen to it a little bit more. Can we listen to it a little bit more?
I'll give you a 9 already. I'm giving you a 9 already.
DJ Sven is in the house, and let's run this one back.
Things got so crazy, I had to go to my DJ friends and beg for souls. And I told them, I said, radio music is making me lazy. It's making me old. I tell them how I once lost myself in rhythm, the syncopated souls. I tell them how I checked the local clubs, but the scenes are cold. Reminiscing the days when I felt broken and house music made me whole. I'd bum rush the dance floor to receive a spiritual hydration, strumming the sound of stranger fruit, my song libation, orgasmic grooves that make the spasm into formation, and leave puddles of sweat, sweating puddles beneath my station. And my friend told me, he said, "Kaina, it sounds like you're in love with the music, like really in love." And just maybe the world needs a rhythm like this, a sound that can put your soul in bliss. To never no more be lonely. Never no more be lonely. Never no more be lonely. House, I love you. You're so full groove. Wanting you beside me. Every verse is you. Twisting souls for you. Swirling close for you. No bad intentions. Groove the truth in you. I groove you. I need your center for my passion to feel. Worshiping your cool and special soul appeal. I
Okay, we had a moment in here on this song.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for it to do
We're
it.
not ready. What's your name again? Jack Dad?
Yep, Jack
Okay,
Dad.
Jack. I see you. Are you the producer and the record the label owner, everything? So usually, just for you all who may be wondering, well, how come somebody who has a label, generally because their label doesn't do the kind of song, that they're trying to release, or because they want it to be affiliated with our name for whatever reason. And we're not mad at you. I love this song. Who is the vocalist? Beautiful vocals. I wasn't ready for those vocals to
tire. They named it in the chat.
Was that the sample pack, the vocal? Was it the sample pack?
So,
Was it?
producer, a lot of people know your song, so you've already done half.
Yeah,
the
I'm
work.
gonna be dancing to this at DJ Biscuit's party. If you, I have it. I can't share it with anybody. DJ Spin is playing at Biscuit's party. I'm gonna give it to DJ Spin and have him play it for me. I really like this song, so I'm going first. I like it. I like even the switch up when it changed. I was like, are we going in the wrong direction? Is this something that, sometimes they go off on a tangent.
Yes.
But I like where it went. I love the change. I love the vocals. I love that little Afro vibe to it. I love the whole thing. Yes. I'm giving you a 9 today, sir. Yes. I'm going to give you a 9. I'm going to move on because I want to see what the ladies think about this one. So, Miss Mackenzie.
Thank you. I like the way it started. I really like the drums. For me personally, I'm not that keen on the vocal, but that's me personally. It's not a bad vocal. It's just I'm more of a dub vocal type of person. And with the way that it started, I think like a kind of dub vocal would have worked better for me personally. I'm not sure if I like the switch, not because it was bad, just because it's not my style. For me personally, I think that there could be 2 separate tracks, like 2 different mixes, like a kind of Afro mix, which is how it kind of started off, and then maybe a kind of soulful-y kind of Latin style. I wasn't really keen on the switch. I'm not saying it's a bad track, it's just not for me. I would give it a 7.
All right, Candace, let's check out Miss Renee Melendez.
You're
Renee, you
mute.
muted
Renee?
again.
Mute.
You definitely have the Tommy Davis curse.
You have the Tommy Davis curse today. No, no Renee yet. All right. Let's we'll come back to Renee. Ricky, do you love this? Do you like it? Tell me how you really feel.
Oh, he's muted too.
He's muted too.
Everybody muted.
Everybody can't be muted.
There you go.
We can hear him, right?
No.
No? Uh-oh. Let us see what is going on with our let's go to Bobby and see if it's with everybody. Bobby?
I freaking love that track. I would sign it in a bloody second. I love the transition. I love the vocals. I mean, I can't get this thing to work, so
Golden buzzer.
Loved it. I don't know who the vocalist was. Maybe you guys can make like a deal with that guy or woman, whoever owns the record. Like, I love it.
Okay.
You know, obviously, everything can always use a little touching up, but for what's there, it's on the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Did we get to see if Ricky and Renee are back on?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, so I'm gonna give this a 10. I like the break. It
Okay,
had
10?
the thump.
Mhm.
Did say a 10. I like the break. It had the thump needed in it. The vocals were hot. Obviously, it could use a little restructure. I do agree with Candace about maybe doing like an Afro version and a dub version, or Afro and a soulful version, but definitely a dope track.
So, Renee, thank you for that. And the producer, I hope you're not playing with my emotions. I hope you sent us this track with the full intention that you are interested in signing this version to us, because I'm gonna be hot as fire if you just playing with my emotions and you just wanted to hear us tell you how great this song is.
Don't play with us like that.
Don't play. I will talk about you, okay? Is Ricky with us? Did we get him?
Rick.
Because we got to hear from Ricky Morrison on this one.
Rick.
I think he's going to refresh and come back because
he's going to refresh and come back. All right. Well, I'm going to ask him when he comes back. We are. I think it looks like we had a lot of people loving this one over on Twitch. And let's see. All right.
I might have to come up to Biscuit's party just to dance with Tommy.
Come on down to Biscuit's. DJ Biscuit is having a big birthday bash, and this song will definitely be playing. All right. So
I got to say something.
What do you got to say? We want to hear it.
Talent Tuesdays,
Yeah.
is for the new producers. This record has been released. Now, I mean, we love it. We want this. But we don't want to make this a habit, because then other labels will just take their music and send it to Talent Tuesdays, and we won't. Am I wrong? Am I wrong, Tim?
That's a good point. That's a good point right there. Yep.
So, so we let this one go because it's great, and it maybe you need to hit the mark you want to hit, and Quantize can do that. But I don't think it should be a standard for us. So if you're out there and you got something and it did well, then I don't think you should submit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? We have gotten, I've gotten emails from producers that said, I released this on my own label or another label.
And it did nothing.
Did nothing.
That's different.
I want to release it on Quantize because I think your market is more, aligned with who the target of this is. And then also we do have remixes. So our most recent one is SEL's album. So that was released as a soul album. And then Spen has a remix. It's a house remix. Right. Okay. So we have the remix on our label, but the album was released somewhere else. And so we've done that a little bit.
I'm just
So
saying for Talent Tuesday.
for Talent
it's
Tuesday,
organic the way we kind of reach
Yeah.
out and we try to reach the producers that feel like they
so
can.
this is going back to what I told you in the beginning. When Spen and Tommy founded this this company, they did want to make sure they continue to reach out to newer producers. But I'm not mad at you, Jack.
No,
That
no,
I'm gonna call you. Okay.
No.
You better answer when I call you too. Okay. Next up is Ricky. Did Ricky ever come back?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Oh, there he
Yes,
is. Yep.
Ricky. Tell us how you feel
Yes.
about this one.
It's a great record. I'm looking at the chat. There's a link on TrackSource apparently.
They
that
got it
it's,
in there now.
Yeah, but yeah, I love the track. To me, the vocal, the poetry, the actual delivery of the vocal that was a little bit lacking for me. It could have been a little bit more earthy, a little bit more organic. I love the key. I wasn't expecting that bit in the middle where it changes into the song. I would have flipped it. I would have done the song first, then gone back into the afro like an old disco record where it starts off nice and pretty, then it gets a bit coarse at the end, you know. But I definitely think it's a record to the stages of actually signing, a little bit of arrangement. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I think my first impression of the poetry part, it needs a little bit work, or even tuned it down, make it a bit more weird or something like that. But generally speaking, I think it's a good track, and I think I'd give it that one an 8. That's the best one so far, I think.
What's the number, Rick?
Is that 8?
8.
8.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, really solid scores for that one. So, Jack, Dad, I will be in touch with you. We usually don't say names, but the producer identified himself in the chat, so that is why I'm saying the name. All right, we are rolling on. If you are from country code 1+1 646, please stop calling me. I am live on the air right now. I don't know what country that is, but it's like my phone keeps going off. Anyway, up next, track number 4, Let's Groove. Strong title. I hope it's a strong song. Talent Tuesday. Okay. That was interesting. All right, let's start out with oh, you okay, go. You're raising your hand.
I loved it.
Okay. Well, you're an
that's just
interesting
me
person, so
personal.
yeah,
That's
I can see
me
it.
personal.
I
I
can see
loved it. I loved it. If you hint, I loved it. But it's not quantized. We would love to do more expansive stuff, but every once in a while we expand, trying to test the waters to see if we can build an audience on it. So we don't like to promise producers something when
That we can't deliver.
We can't deliver. Because then, we feel like we let you down. We put all our eggs in it, and just the powers to be just won't let us reach that audience. That's just my opinion. So, but I still, personally, you are 9. Quantize, you are 7.
Okay. Interesting. All right, Ricky. What are your thoughts on this one?
Nah.
No.
No. If you're gonna go down that road, you need a bit more than that. I mean, that's like an Atari sounding track to me. Next.
Next. That's brutal.
What's the
You have to give a number, Ricky.
That's my honest opinion. That if I like records like that all day long, but it needs a little bit more than that for me to, even give a mark, to be fair. I mean, it's just nah. I'll give him one. I'll give him one for putting the power on the computer.
1.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
All right.
All right. Candace,
come
Candace.
on.
I want to ask Candace because Candace often will get tracks way outside of what we normally do into the demos mailbox. Candace, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, it's definitely not for Quantize. I think it's more, like Mark Knight, that kind of tool room records.
The Mark Knight before it turned soulful.
Yeah, because Mark Knight is doing some nice soulful stuff now. So Mark Knight,
Yep.
I would say about Mike, you'll know, about 8-10 years ago, before he turned soulful for sure. That kind of style, maybe even longer than that. It's definitely not for Quantize. If it had come in the demos inbox, I would have just replied with a no, unfortunately. But it's because it's not for our label. And the only thing I will say to the producer is, when you're sending your demos, do your homework with who you're going to send it to.
Yes.
Because you're gonna feel disappointed when you're just getting no's, but probably because you're sending it to labels like Quantize, and that's not our style. It's kind of like a waste of energy just sending out your demos to loads of labels, just hoping that it will stick somewhere. Like, do your homework and send it to the label that suits your sound. And a full score, I'll give it a 5.
A what?
A 5.
A 5. Okay. Yeah, Candace makes a really good point about doing your homework in terms of what the label does. We send out promotions to radio stations and that kind of thing. And sometimes I read the feedback. And when Spen released his album entitled Soulful Storm, one of the DJs that responded, the radio jock, said, "It's too soulful for me." So I was just like, they probably don't belong on our promo list because we do soulful. And, if you know DJ Spen, it's going to be soulful 9 times out of 10. So, or probably 9.9 times out of 10. So maybe we didn't do our homework and we let someone slide on to, let that radio station slide on when that's not what they do. So you're right. Market your stuff to where there's an audience for it and for, where people want to listen to it. And as Tommy said, we have tried some experimental stuff, but people come to us for a reason, and they generally don't want to hear experimentation. So, Renee?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. I'm going to match Ricky's Atari, and I'm going to go ColecoVision. It was not what I would play. It sounded very, very techy. I'm not sure if I want to say 90s techie, like EDM, or like video game techie. It sounds like something that would be great in Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
So for me, I would say probably a 3.
Okay. All right. Well, we have to hear from Bobby on this.
Here we go.
There you go.
All right,
Let's go, Bobby.
Okay, so you guys are saying, yes, there's a place for this. But in my mind, there isn't a place for this because it's either good music or bad music. And to me, that is so boring that you can talk about it being in a tool room. I wouldn't put it in a tool shed. I just thought it was like not happening. You talk about Mark Knight, I wouldn't give it the light of day. So I would just scrap that and move on. 1.
always appreciate your honesty. The first ever executive vice president of promotions at any record label ever. So, don't think he's just some guy on here just talking. So thanks, Bobby. We appreciate your honesty.
Well,
do you?
I think well, it's a techno track. It's similar to the second track that we got. This one has an audience as well. This will bump warehouses.
Will somewhere.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. You put this in a warehouse, bumping sound system. Kids are gonna go crazy over this track.
Kids will?
Yep.
Are they like on drugs type kids or?
I'm
sorry. I'm just like stereotyping. I just envision those movies where everybody's like gone out of their minds and the music is just like boom, 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 and the lights are flashing and people are like eyes glazed over.
There's an audience for it.
Movie.
Yep.
This
is a good soundtrack.
A sync license.
Yes.
For a movie about something crazy, this would be the track for that. And there's a whole market for that. We do get requests all the time. Do you have a song that's very electronic and intense with feelings of anger or rage or sadness? We literally get requests that say that. And we say, no, we don't have that. But there are companies that search for music like that for movies and commercials and, productions of all kinds of productions of sorts. So
what say you, Kelly?
Do I have to say any more?
You didn't give a number.
I don't even think I can fairly. I mean, how can I fairly score this? I can't stand this type of music. Period. So
that's a number.
And I run a label. I run a label that does something different, and so from a business standpoint, which I care about greatly. This wouldn't sell on this label. So I would have, if I was manning the box, if Candace was on vacation, I would, this may have gotten 2 seconds out of me before I deleted it and said thanks, but no thanks.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to the jam. I was waiting for what's Simba's father's name? Mufasa.
Mufasa.
Oh, everybody's cruel.
I'm
today.
not
They're
being
just
cruel. I mean, it's definitely giving me Lion King vibes. What?
The chat room
As
have had me.
a woman of African descent, I'm here for the African vocals and the African vibe of this song. I don't know if it's for us, but I want to hear what everybody else thinks. Ricky, what did you feel about this song?
Yeah, it's almost there. It's almost there. I've got to say, it's got a nice rhythm. I'm not sure about the chanting. I think the arrangement, if the producer could really kind of break it down and bring it back. I didn't hear much of the bass line, but that's one of those records that needs a nice round, deep bass underneath it to give it that roundness. Because all I was hearing was the bongos. But the chanting was a little bit too repetitive, but I think that will probably come to the arranging, where I think if the producer gets more and more records produced underneath his belt, he'll find a formula how to make those records work, like a drop, an intro, but it's almost there. It's almost there. I reckon it can be an unquantized record if it gets a little tweak here and there, a little arrangement or some suggestions from you guys to how to fix it. Maybe take out the vocals every now and then and bring it back in. But I think, it's almost there. I think fundamentally, in my opinion, I think the bottom end needs to be a bit more bigger to give it that, to take your mind off the bongos and the vocal sample. But yes, a nice track. I like it. I think I'll give that. Yeah, it's a 7.5 for me.
7.5.
7.5.
That's pretty good.
Okay, that's pretty good coming from Mr. Morrison. All
It's
right.
nice.
He's a legend. He's a legend.
He's a legend. Let's hear from Bobby, because Bobby was not happy previously. So did this make you any happier, Bobby?
You know something? You said it belongs in the Lion King. I can almost feel the love tonight from that song. I love it. I think it's really good. It's got the ingredients. It needs some touch-ups.
Yeah.
I could see someone like back in the old school days, David Mancuso probably would have loved that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the ingredients. It needs some Quantize polishing, but I would like, look into it.
Okay.
I agree with Rick. I'm generally, it seems like I'm agreeing with Ricky a lot. 7.5.
7.5. Okay. All right, Renee.
I would give it a 7. The drums were pretty good. It needs a little extra thump in that bass. But I feel like there's a sample in there, and I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like the main bass line in that track is a sample taken from somewhere. So,
and you are right. You work.
I can't call the name. Yeah, I can't call the name of the song off the top of my head, but I've sat here, I've listened to it 3 times before we got on, and I can hear it, but I can't call it. It'll come to me.
And you're right, Renee. As soon as it came on, it's a record that came out in the 90s, and it's all it did, that bass line like that exactly. Like he might have taken it from the record because it did break down to that bass line. So
Well, if you see in the chat, somebody put it's the B-side of Bobby Condors.
Ah,
They said what?
The B-side of Bobby Condors.
Right.
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
That 4
Well,
8.
This becomes an issue if it's
Yeah,
already
it does
released.
become an issue.
I mean, we at Quantize, even if something in the music business, flattery is music, but we try to make sure that we do things in a godly way because we all in the label believe that we should do things fairly. So if we know another house person and somebody's taking it, we'll go to that person.
Right.
And just say, hey, we want to use this. They might say, hey, go ahead and use it.
They might.
But
Right.
but the fact is, we do things above board.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, we're not trying to cheat anybody. Okay, Candace.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll try and keep it brief. I just wrote down that I thought it had a really great start. It sort of got going straight out the gates, but then for me, it kind of flattened out a little bit. I still think it's a good track, but I do feel like it needs some work. It needs something else in it. It just got a bit flat for me. I said maybe it needs a flute or something. I'm not sure. It just needs something else. Also, I'm not quite sure why it's called the Jam. It's very African sounding. People want to liken it to the Lion King. Why is it called the Jam? Because it doesn't kind of go together, the name and then the start of the track for me. But yeah, they're my thoughts. I'll give it a 7.
Okay. This track, and I'm not a producer, obviously, but it's the track. I can't really, I don't have the terminology because I'm not a producer, but it sounded a little messy. Like it needed to be cleaned up. It was just so much going on, and I could figure out, am I focusing on this? What am I supposed to be focused on? So I could see it being something better, but as it stands, I need it to be fixed. You know what I mean?
That's what Ricky means.
Is that the same thing?
Too much.
Okay. It was just so many things going on that I couldn't find a place to really groove off of this or to jam off of it. And Candace is right. And that's one of the things working with Bobby that has been amazing. Bobby's like, I mean, if this is an Afro track, where's the Afro name? You know, if the track is if you call the track something about love and we don't hear anything loving, or it's like really hardcore track, why is it called something about love? Think about your titles. And honestly, that's something that we never talked about before, but having Bobby working with us and talking with us, he's got us thinking like that. Why is it called the Jam? So that's my comment. I'd probably give it like a 6.5.
Okay.
6. Let me not be 6.5. 6. Okay.
I loved it. I mean, I actually hear. I mean, to me, when I come to Talent Tuesday, I expect demo. So when I expect demo, I don't expect to hear perfect. I expect to hear the demo, and that was a great demo. You know what I mean? There was some copyright issues a little bit. but we can follow it through as we have been embarrassingly shown from the last track when the guy said I owned it. We don't know that stuff. So it would take some research to find out maybe you did the original thing with Bobby Conner. You were the keyboard player. We don't know that.
Right.
But I get it really being a really huge record because of the elements it had in it. And Quantize would love it. And we have a whole production of producers that can take it a whole other to fill it up. And we like those kind of records that have that kind of enough. It has enough that if Mike did it, it's going to sound like Mike. If I did it, it's going to sound like Tommy.
If Jihad Muhammad would do it, it would sound a whole different way.
So we like those kind of records that have that kind of
character,
that kind of character to it. So I give it a definite 9. This is the most 9s I ever get.
Go sit down.
Sandman.
His hyper.
The Sandman that does not mean anything. The spin is on just probably jet lag. Just exhausted right now. So all right, Mike, are you
I was just waiting on the kick to come in and the bass line. That was it. That was it felt like it was missing that.
Yeah.
On my end.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the next song.
Oh, wait.
What?
Bobby, I think, wants to say something.
Oh, yeah, Bobby.
I mean, this has nothing to do with the music, but somewhat. Someone just put in the chat, where can we get Quantize merchandise? So maybe you want to tell them?
Okay. Lexi and Scoob are in the chat. Our moderators are in the chat. Can you drop the link for the our merchandise shops, please? Free shipping right now. I forgot we had on a free shipping.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a free shipping thing going on. All right. This is Talent Tuesday. We are Quantize Recordings. We are rolling on to track 6. Let's see if this one gets it right. All right, that was
Yep.
Get It Right. I'm checking out the Twitch chat and lots of positive comments on this one. Very funny comments. Very funny, DJ Scoob. The track is good. I like the vocals. The effects are good when the vocals first come in, but it is too much for the verse. And that is from professionally trained vocalist, musician, Sheila Ford. So take that for what it's worth.
That's what she's saying.
What's she saying? She's saying, Yeah, yeah. All right, let's hear some feedback from our judges. Bobby Shaw, did they get it right?
I think they did get it right. Obviously everything could always use a little polishing and refurbishing a little bit, but the ingredients are there. The backbone of something good is there, and it sounds very Quantize to me. Quantize. So I would dive into it, call the producer, talk it out, and then you guys remix it and it'll work.
Okay. So your number for this one?
I would give it a 7.5. I mean, I see some people putting it should be a female vocal, but I'm pretty pleased with the male vocal.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Ricky, how about this one? Is this something you would play, or you could see yourself remixing, or what do you think about this one?
I like it. I really like it. I think, in my honest opinion, it needs a little bit more energy. And I think if it was a little bit more faster, I don't know, maybe 124 or something, and maybe make the drums a bit more shuffly and kick around that vocal sample a bit to make it more like, even more like a Nightcrawlers kind of little stack sample. I think that could be a big track. Could be a really nice track. It's good heartbeat, good solid backbone to it, like what Bobby said. But yeah, I think it's a great track. Definitely, I don't know if it's a quantized one, but definitely an unquantized one, along with 2 other tracks that he may have produced. It's definitely something worth looking into. Yeah, I like it. I think same as Bobby. I think actually no, I think I'll give that a 7. Master opinion, but yeah, it's nice.
Okay. All right, Candace McKenzie.
Thank you very much. So yeah, I think I wrote down that it's a nice soulful track and it moves along nicely. But yeah, I agree. It definitely needs more energy. Would I sign it if it just came into demos? No, I wouldn't. And also, I'm going to be a little bit strict now as well with the whole remixing comments and stuff like that. If the song is not strong enough on its own as an original, for me personally now, moving forward, especially with Talent Tuesday, I'm not going to be going, oh, but if Tommy put his spin on it or Sven put their spin on it. No, if it needs a remix, it's not for us. We need to be going with songs that are strong enough to stand on their own at first, and then a remix enhances it. Not that we need to enhance it to put it out, because that's just extra work, extra energy, extra time, and not here for it anymore. So for me personally, I would say it's a 6.5.
That's a good point, Candace. So the head of A&R has spoken. If the track is not strong enough to stand on its own, it might need some more tweaking before we agree to take it, because it's not guaranteed that we can get anybody on the team or anybody else to remix it. It takes money, it takes time, and it takes a lot of resources. And ultimately, the track does need to be able to stand on its own. So good point, Candace. All right, Renee.
And with going with everything that Candace just said about it coming in on being strong enough and on its own merits to go right out, I agree with that. But we're also saying that, you know, we are trying to bring new people in and give them opportunities. And some people are still in the learning process and they can put together some decent quality music, but it might need a touch of something. It's a decent track. It needs a little more work. Maybe the producer needs to go back to the drawing board and touch up a couple of things. But I mean, it definitely has something to work with there. So I would give it like a 7.
All right, a 7. Okay. So someone in the chat, and I'm just going to pause a bit because someone in the chat asked a question about when Spen and Tommy, or even I guess Mike Freak, they specifically asked about the founders making music that someone else doesn't like. Yes, that happens all the time. And what generally happens is that when Tommy has his own creative process, and when he's finished, Spen hears it. Sometimes Tommy will test it on his streams or out on the dance floor and see how he really feels. Spen has his own personality and likes, and they generally will battle. They will go back and forth on a track for sometimes quite a long time. And so there have been things that the question was, do things not get released? I will say yes, and they're not in the trash can, but they are waiting to be fixed in a way that they can agree on. There's also been tracks where maybe Spen does something and Tommy doesn't like the direction, and Spen gives it to Mike Freak and says, do your thing. And then Tommy will say, now I can get with this release. Candace is also, she's has an amazing history in music, amazing ear, and she's a radio jock, quite frankly. So she knows a lot about music and what people like. And she is often very vocal with Spen and Tommy about whether she likes their stuff or not. And, you know, sometimes they take her feedback.
Feedback.
Again, you all know I'm not a music producer. I love music. I'm not a house head. Disco and soul and R&B and rock and pop. I'm an 80s, you know, music, 70s music. That's my thing. If I don't like it, I just say it. You know, does it on Spen's album? I did have a lot of input, you know, probably because he was making the album here. We work in the same room every day. And so I was a huge part of the album, and he wanted me to like it. And there are some things I didn't like. Spen is not my favorite DJ also. And many of you know that. Shout out to my very favorite DJ, who is KW Griff out of Baltimore. So I have a particular sound that I like. And sometimes we don't all see eye to eye, but I think we have a mutual respect. And we respect the music all day long. And all of you producers out there who, you know, put your heart and soul into music. Music is very personal. So these people that made these tracks tonight, you know, that was in their heart. And so we don't, you know, just because it's a 1 for me doesn't mean it's a bad song. You know, if that's what's in your heart, more power to it, you know, to you. So that's just to answer that question. So
what number?
This track wasn't too bad for me.
Okay.
I would probably give it maybe a 6.5, a 7. I think I could go for a 7 on this one. It wasn't bad. I think, like Candace said, we got to think about whether the original is strong enough on its own. I told you all from the outset that I'm looking to release songs that are 8.5, 8, maybe 9 and above. So this song on its own, I don't think it's ready for release, but I think it could get there. And not with one of them remixing. You, producer, go back, take the feedback and let's, you know,
improve on it.
Pop it a little bit. You know, give me a little and you know, just get it there to that 8. It can get there, I think.
So
Do you think it can get there? You don't think it can get there?
I'm 19. I'm sorry. I'm like Ricky. Like, you know, I need the energy.
You don't have that.
It's not meant.
You don't
to.
have that
some
feeling.
records are not meant to do that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They're meant to be in the zone. They are, and that's not to say it's bad. It's just not me.
What BPM was it?
Yeah.
You know, I'm 19.
Can you remember?
So.
What was that?
What BPM
was it?
I think it was 121. Yeah, 120.
Yeah, I think a bit more engineering, about 123, 124. That'll give it a little bit more oomph, I reckon.
Is that a Quantize and chill track?
Yes. It's
No.
down there. It's
The
Who
potential
said no?
is
Was
there.
that Candace say no?
Yeah, I said no.
She said
See,
no.
Okay.
Historically speaking, 20 years ago, every record was 120. And as we got moved on into a new thing, we moved up faster and faster and faster. Unfortunately, that moved people's ages up. So when you was 35 doing 120 or 25, now you're 40 at 125. So, you know, you can see the change in what's going on. And I'm still in the back. I'm still back there where I want to jump. I want to holler for hours.
Yeah.
So that doesn't touch me at all.
Okay.
It's very paced out, very, you know, neat.
Yeah.
I agree with what Ricky said. It had to have something else to make
You're
it a
looking
little
for
bit bounce.
that power.
on it.
Okay.
So I give it a 6.
To be quite frank, you used to be able to peak a room at 110 beats per minute, depending.
Yes.
You know, there could be songs at 110, but they have energy.
Yes. Yeah.
You can play Heartbeat and they will go crazy.
Correct.
Or Gwen
It's not
Guthrie.
not always the BPMs, it's the energy.
Yes.
Same
And
thing.
but you know, I'm just going to play devil's advocate for a minute. No offense, Bobby and Tommy are my family, literally. But we all know they're not spring chickens. So doesn't music evolve? I'm seriously asking you all this question. You producers, you DJs in the chat. So if it's evolved from 120 to 125, isn't that just a sign of the times? Do we have to be stuck back there all the time? And don't get me wrong, because I'm still stuck on disco. That's my favorite genre. But
Good music is good music, and no matter what BPM. You know, I don't care if it's 100 BPMs or 120. If it's good music, I'll dance to it. I don't care how old.
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. That's where I am. If it sounds good to me, I'm ready, whether it's, you know, whatever it is. Mike, would you put your spin on this? Would you touch this? What would you do?
I was just thinking the vocals, like if you put like a Daft Punk kind of vocoder to it, I don't know, it's just.
But as is.
As is, it needs a bit more work.
I like how we were both quiet when he said what he wanted to do with it. We were like, we don't always agree for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so number.
It's a 6.
It's a 6.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it has some great elements to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good elements, good start, need some work. All right. We are rolling on. We have 2 more tracks. Thanks for hanging in. Track number 7 is called Kiss Me. All right.
Can I say something?
Yeah, you can say something.
People out there, we don't listen to the records beforehand. We don't select
No,
and do that.
we don't. Now, we do send them, some of our judges, because of wherever they're sitting, they like to hear it on their system or whatever, but we do not. No, I never listen to them ahead of time.
I don't either.
I don't.
So it's not like, some weeks, if y'all regulars, I'm looking in the chat, y'all notice that some weeks it's all instrumentals, or some weeks it's
we
all
have no idea
vocals,
what it's going to
and
be.
today is a lot of techno.
Yeah.
It's not done by choice. We just
we just take it, download it, and put it up on a link. So, all right, let's hear from the team. Ricky.
Yeah, it's almost there. It's almost there. I think if it had a vocal hook to it, I think it might work. But as it is, I definitely don't think it's a quantized record, and an unquantized record maybe as a package, but not the main track of the package. So I'd give that a 5. Sonically, it sounds nice. A good bump to it. It sounds almost mastered, but it's emotionally does nothing to me. So I think it's just a filler. I think like 1 track of a 3-track EP. So yeah, 5.
Okay. All right, let's move on to Renee.
You're on mute, Renee.
Is Renee frozen?
Yep, she froze.
No, she's not.
No, she's not.
Well,
she is part.
It's on and off, in and out.
All right, let's go on over to Candace.
Thank you. Yes, not to just sort of repeat what Ricky said, but I do agree with him. It's a good track. I wrote down that I thought that the structure was good, like the way it was built. I thought that was done really well. It kept my interest, but I don't think it's for Quantize, unfortunately. And I would give it a 6.5.
What was your score, Candace?
6.5.
6.5. Okay. All right. Let's go on over to Bobby.
Okay. Well, first of all, this is a little more direct.
Renee, unmute.
What did it say?
Renee, unmute.
I actually thought that track was kind of like fun and decent. I agree with Ricky, and I agree with somebody named Bertram in the room. I thought maybe vocals over that would enhance it. I thought the track itself was actually pretty decent. What I really thought about it was it really didn't belong on the dance floor, but belongs maybe more in like a movie soundtrack or a TV soundtrack. It didn't sound like something I would dance. I hate when people say, it doesn't sound quantized or something, but quantized is just good music, and maybe it's got a soulful sound, but you guys have put out records that aren't quote soulful. There are other sounds. Good music is good music. No?
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
All right. What number? What number, Bobby?
As it is, probably about a 5.5, 6.
Okay. All right. So did we get Renee back or no?
She says she's having technical difficulties.
Okay.
She said it in the chat.
Okay. All right. That's okay. All right. Mike and Tommy.
I love John Carpenter music. So it's like a movie soundtrack, but it doesn't fit us. So 5.
5.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's a dance tune, or it's something that doesn't fit the label. So.
Okay. All right.
Can you
All
guys?
right. Well then. Did we have someone else chiming in?
Yeah, I have an idea. Why doesn't Quantize do a movie soundtrack?
We would love to. We would love to any day of the week. I think Twitch was not feeling so excited about this one. So it's again, sometimes it just depends on the audience, and this audience is, looking for a little something different. All right, we are going on to our last and final track of the day. If you have tracks that you want to submit that are your original work that you are truly interested in releasing on the label, not just to hear what DJ Spen or Tommy or someone has to say, you have cleared the samples, you legally own them, and there's no cursing. Feel free to send your music to music@quantizerecordings.com. If you're already on the label, you know our email addresses. Send us the music directly and give some of the newbies a chance. That's what we want. So you know what to do. All right, we are up with our last track called Plans for You. Let's hope this one takes us home tonight. Well, takes y'all home. I am home. All right. So one of the rare times we've gotten an actual short demo, which I think it was Mr. V months ago who said, if you're sending in a demo, you know, shorten it and give us the meat and potatoes. Give us the good part of the song, not the intro. Let's, you know, get right into it so we can hear the hook, so we can hear, you know, the best part of the song. So let's just hear how people are feeling on this one. Tommy, why don't we start with you?
Since the premise, first of all, thank Kelly. I know this before I forget. Thank you for being host. I'm Regis. It's Kelly, and it's an honor to be here in person. That one, it still didn't move me. I mean, at the label, our consensus is that we need to actually spend more time in bringing already finished projects that already are complete. One of the things we noticed is that sometimes we like to hit main peaks that for Quantize is the main selling point. So if somebody has something with us, it needs to go on these albums and these compilations, and that means that it has to be as is at some point. So that one doesn't really fit. It was an instrumental. It kind of had some of the characteristics of the one before, kind of movie track. Yeah. You know what I mean? Sound like you're going down the alley to get somewhere. Very cinematic in the way it sounded. So I give it a 6.
Okay. 6, Mike Free.
It was missing kind of like what Bobby was saying. This track I thought didn't have a whole lot of energy. I was like looking for that, and I didn't get it. So yeah, it was short, 2 minutes. So
was that too short?
It didn't have. I was like looking for like an idea, like the main, like the main hook, and I didn't get it as well. So yeah, it's 5.
5. Mm-hmm. All right, let's hear from Ricky on this one.
Yeah, it's a killer groove in my opinion. Reminded me of a little bit like an early Monday Oliver, Stay Close, that little drum pattern. I think if the drum pattern's a bit more intriguing, more shuffly, And I reckon I love the bass line, that little arpeggiator thing. I think if it's a bit more sparser, I think 2 minutes isn't enough for you to get a good idea. You probably may need to send it as a complete track, and then I probably say, well, yes or no, or do this or do that. But it's definitely got a heartbeat there. I really like the repetitive drum pattern, bit more shuffle, bass line's good. Lovely eerie chords and eerie synth. I think it could be a goer. Maybe a vocal on top. I mean, I'm noticing, or what me being here. I thank you very much for you guys, and also Katie from Happy Days for inviting me on this. Lovely, really, really nice. Very, very, very beautiful thing you're doing. I can't. I'm sure the producers out there are really listening intently on what's going on. Really, really great idea. But going back to the record, I think with Quantize, in my opinion, I think if you're going to send demos, producers, they might be great grooves, but I think with Quantize, you may need to put some kind of vocal over the top, whether it be a sample or an a cappella or something, just to give them an idea of what you're trying to do with it, and then let Kelly with the Legals or Tommy to come up with other ideas. Maybe get one of their vocalists on their stable to sing on the track. But you should really give them a really good idea of what you're trying to get to. And I think with the Quantize stuff, it's mainly a vocal, not a groove. Unquantized is another thing, but you should be trying to hit Quantize, because that's where the beautiful records are. And you should be, and if you want to be part of that, you should probably get the production boots on and get a vocal going, and let them decide what to do with it, in my opinion. But a 5.
Kelly, can I just jump in quickly off the back of Ricky, just with what he said there, with like putting like the producers putting on the vocals and stuff? Like I totally agree with that. And every other week we sort of speak about this and what producers should do, because sometimes they use a sample and sometimes we talk about that, and etc. etc. One thing that I would like to see producers do, maybe not for Talent Tuesday because it's slightly different, but when they send demos in, is actually tell us about the track. It's all well and good just sending a link that says here's my demo, but like what Ricky said, he's like, you're sending a groove, right? Maybe you could put a sample on it to give us a direction of where it's going, but maybe that's not the finished product, right? So if, say, for example, somebody sent a track with a sample and we know that the sample can't be cleared, we're just going to trash that straight away and say, I'm sorry, we can't help you. But if they say, here's my track, I've used this sample because I want to give you an idea, but actually what I'm looking for is this, can you help? Like I think that would kind of help producers get somewhere, because a lot of the times we just get, here's my demo. Sometimes we don't even get anything in an email. We literally just get a link. And I don't understand why producers find it hard to kind of communicate about their music. Like, hi Quantize, my name is so-and-so, here's my track, it was an instrumental, I've now tried it with this sample from a sample pack, that's not where I want to go, I'm actually really keen to use one of your vocalists, how does that work, kind of thing. Just sending us a track with no explanation. I think also that's part of the reason why a lot of our stuff doesn't get signed, because we just have to take it on face value that it's just a song that you've sent, and we can't read minds, and we can't read between the lines of an email, so we don't know what direction it's going in. So that I just wanted to kind of jump off the back of that with what Ricky said about adding vocals with this track. Unfortunately for me, it just didn't move me. It doesn't have much energy. I'm gonna have to give it a 6.
Thank you, Candace. Someone in the chat says, so you would help with tracks. I think that's what we've been doing for 10 years, is helping with tracks. We've been releasing tracks that are 6, 7, remixing them, mastering them, doing a new mix down, tweaking. And, I've told Sven and Tommy and Mike that we've given a lot to the community, and now we'll still be helping. And Talent Tuesday is about helping. The feedback you're getting, I mean, look at our panel, just from start to finish. Ricky Morrison, just legendary producer, in the game a long time. Candace is an award-winning DJ. Renee, you know, New Jersey DJ, lady DJ, one of the baddest DJs, lady DJs out of New Jersey. You got Tommy Davis, you got Mike Freak, who's worked with Crystal Waters, and he's just like the latest, hottest thing now. Tommy Davis, the legend, who's worked with so many big names in dance music for a long time. I won't say how many years. So you've got the expertise here. That's the help we're giving you. So when you say, will you help us with your track? These comments are your help. Listen to the comments. Go back and fix the tracks if you. And when I say fix, I mean take the feedback and tweak it according to the feedback. If you would like the track released on Quantize, but no, we're not going to take the track as a 7 and then say Tommy fix it, Spen fix it, Mike Freak fix it. No, we're not doing that. That's no. So we're here to give the advice and the feedback, and hopefully people will take it. All right, who have we not heard from? We didn't hear from Bobby.
Bobby. You haven't heard from Bobby.
It started off very nicely, but it's a little hard to make a judgment. It was so short, so it was obviously something that wasn't finished, nowhere near finished. Come back with something 4 minutes long or something with a little different presentation. As it is, I don't know, 5. I'm being generous, but really, it's hard to judge something so short.
Yeah. I'm Charles Dawkins. What's up? The legend. Charles Dawkins is in the chat. And Charles said people have to be willing to invest in their, I'm paraphrasing, but basically that's what he's saying. If people want their music to go to the next level, you have to be willing to make a next level investment in your craft, in your music, as opposed to saying, well, that's DJ Spen's label. I'm going to send it in. I know it's like, I got these, this crazy piano that I got from wherever, but Spen will fix it. No, sir. No, ma'am. No, he will not. We're not doing that. It's a new day. We want you to come with your A game, and then we're going to support you in an A game way when you bring your A game. We're going to put your record out. We're going to, push it. So, that's what we're looking for. And you heard it here first. Bring your A game. We're looking for those 8s, 9s, 10s.
Bobby didn't give a number.
Bobby, did you give us a number?
I said I'm giving it a 5 and being generous.
Oh, there.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Kelly, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, Renee.
Okay. I didn't get to vote on the last one, but that's okay. This one, I agree with everyone. It wasn't enough to make a judgment call from. I think a 5 right now is being generous, but I want to piggyback on something that Candace pointed out about sending stuff in. When you're working on music, when you're working on anything, you want constructive feedback, and the folks here at Quantize are all approachable people in an email. Hey, listen, I'm working on this, I'm thinking of submitting it. Do you feel like it's missing something or whatever? Like, have those discussions with your peers, locally to wherever you are, have those discussions. If you're connected with other people in the industry, get that honest feedback, because that's the only way that you're going to get better when you're submitting your demos to labels, not just, us, but anywhere. So this particular song was just not enough to really make a solid judgment on, but from what I heard, it's a 5.
What was your number, Renee? I'm sorry.
5.
With his phone.
5.
5. Okay. All right. Did we hear from everyone on this one?
Yeah.
Yep.
I want.
Do you want to say something?
One cosign.
Okay.
We at Quantize are a small group of dynamos that do this. So why are we so stringent on what we do? Because this week we're working on records for the month of December. Are we in December now?
We're already releasing. We have enough material to release through December, maybe even January. Yeah.
So you imagine that kind of schedule, and we're that far out. So when we pick up stuff, we need to make sure that it has as less work to fit in this schedule. I mean, if Mike likes something particular, yeah, maybe Mike might ask to do a project.
He might ask the
or
producer.
I might ask, or
Yeah.
Spin might ask.
Yeah.
But in general, we don't want to come in and do that because sometimes also the artist wants a chance for their music to stand on their own. They don't want it to be a hit because Tommy Davis did a remix. They want to find out, can it stand on their own? So that means that we have to be conscious of that and say, well, let's pick up stuff that can stand on their own. And then anybody on the team around the world that we work with would be a bonus.
There you go.
And I think we can drop the mic on that one.
Can I drop this mic?
No.
I was just about to drop the mic.
As always, it is really awesome that all of you tune in. We appreciate especially all the DJs, the producers, the musicians and vocalists who come in the chat and give the feedback. We love that not only do the producers get whoever's on the panel, but they get your feedback in the chat. I mean, where can you go and talk to Charles Dawkins and Sheila Ford and DJ Biscuit and these people who are playing the music, who are really in touch with the sound, who are professionally trained, who DJ on a regular basis and are in tune with what the crowds want? You name it, we've got it in our chat. And we just really appreciate all of you guys for checking us out and tuning in. You know what? You're not supposed to say guys anymore. All of you friends for checking us out and tuning in. We will be back in 2 weeks with Talent Tuesday. So by all means, if you have a track that you think is that 8 or higher, please send it to music@quantizerecordings.com. Anything else to tell them?
I thought all the music was nice. It was really nice. And we're glad, appreciate y'all sending all of that in.
You know what someone said? Someone said, and I don't know if you all agree, especially who have been around. We've been doing this since December, I think. Someone in the chat said the quality of the music. So even if the music is not a fit for the label, people are saying the quality, the productions are getting better and better. So we appreciate you. And those of you who have been sending me emails, working on your tracks, thank you. I see it. I'll get back to you on the emails. We're going to listen to those reproductions. And I think that with that, we're going to peace out. Mike.
1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Can I say something?
Absolutely. Because, we were going to say goodnight to all of you, of course.
I just want to say the 3 degrees did a great job today.
Well, we did great.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, thank you, Bobby. Thank you. And y'all, and you know, the judges was on point.
Yeah,
the
really judges were on point. You know, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. Ricky, so grateful that you joined us. We're so happy about your recent release that you have on the label. And we just look forward to working with you more and more. And special shout out to your agent, Katie Richardson and Happy Days Music. What's up, Katie? I think she was in the chat as well. So we appreciate you. And we hope that people really understand that you took your time and you're a professional. And we hope they really took your feedback to heart because it was really amazing. So thank you.
So thank you so much for having me. And if I could say one thing to all you producers out there, don't give up. It's going to come. Don't give up. Just keep doing it. Keep learning your trade. Keep researching. Listen to other people's records. Listen to other people's sound. Really really immerse yourself into it. And, you know, you'll get there. You'll get there. And when you get there, try to create your own sound, not someone else's. But, you know, don't give up. You'll get there. You'll get there.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Bobby Shaw, it's a pleasure to have you as our extended family member. We love you and we always appreciate your expert feedback. Thank you.
I love being here.
Our own Simon. Our own
Simon. Yes.
I even root for the Ravens.
And DJ Renee Melendez, we love you. Thank you for all you do for the label, and we appreciate your feedback.
Thank you for having me, guys. It's been a pleasure today.
And of course, our producer for Talent Tuesday, she runs everything that you see. Candace is running it. You all know she's our head of A&R. She does a lot of other stuff for the label too. So just Candace, thank you. We appreciate you every single day.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
All right. So from the Three Musketeers, we appreciate you guys. Peace out. We'll check you out in 2 weeks.
Please stay for the raid.
We will be raiding. We're going to do some, if you just want to listen to some music tonight, feel free to stay on. If you're on Twitch, we're going to be checking out some DJ channels. And then Mike Freak tonight at 8 o'clock. We'll be going live from here.
Quantize Studios.
We'll be hanging out with Mike. So peace in the valley, peace in the city, and peace to your souls. We love you guys. We are Quantize Recordings, and we are out.
Bye.
Bye. Later, skaters.
Later, skaters.
My darling, darling baby. You're my darling, darling love. You're my darling, darling baby. I said you're everything I've ever hoped for in a woman. And as long as I live, you're my darling, darling baby. You're my sweet and tender love. You're a special lady. Said you're everything I've ever hoped for. Darling, darling baby. You're my sweet and tender love. You're a special lady. Celebrate life.